I want justice for Justin, but I also want the tea, honey. Dámelo. Dame chisme. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything. It ends with us saga. And being the number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga means I put in a lot of work. I read every single filing that has entered all of the court dockets. And at first, when I got to today's order from Judge Lyman about the sealing and unsealing of filings, I thought, whatever. Let me skim through this. And I was reading it, and then, oh my God! Remember a few weeks ago when Bruja Blake filed a request for attorney's fees, and she cited that new California law, 47.1, the one that's not been tested in the courts? And she wants this California law applied in New York, and for this federal judge to be the first person to issue anything in a court with regards to it. Section 47.1 is meant to protect real victims of SH and SA. Real victims. But any SH that Blake Papini has suffered is all alleged. Nothing has been proven true yet. And accompanying her move for attorney's fees, citing this new California law, she included a declaration from somebody who made bold allegations against Justin Baldoni. We don't know who, because that person was redacted, but whomever that is, the person did not work on It Ends With Us, we know that, and they alleged that he was verbally abusive and toxic. Briefly, because it's short, remember this, it's short, but it says that this person, redacted, declaration of we don't know, I had repeated negative interactions with Mr. Baldoni and his associates, including verbal abuse by Mr. Baldoni. And things got so bad that Mr. Baldoni was not permitted on set during the majority of production as a result of those experiences. Boom. In fact, the person requested that Baldoni not be involved in blank marketing or public relations efforts. Now, Justin and the Wayfarer parties know who this person is, but we, the public, don't. Suella No Chill filed a motion to seal the identity of the person who gave this declaration, and just earlier today, Judge Lyman said, no. It was preliminarily sealed, but it will be unmasked. We will find out the identity of this accuser. Why? Judge Lyman says, on September 15th, 2025, Lively filed her own motion for continued sealing of portions of her memorandum of law, the accompanying declaration, and Exhibit 1, which is an audio recording of a conversation between declarant and defendant Steve Sarowitz. Lively requests that these documents remain under seal because they reveal the identity of the declarant, who has alleged prior experiences of verbal abuse by defendant Justin Baldoni. Lively asserts that the declarant's privacy interests outweigh any presumption of public access, and that there is no public interest in exposing the declarant to possible online scrutiny and attacks, given that the substance of the relevant information is already in the record. I mean, I don't wish any harm, threats, nasty comments upon anyone. but I want to know who this is. Lyman says the Wayfarer parties oppose continued sealing on the grounds that the memorandum of law selectively quotes from the audio recording and that Sarowitz should be allowed to have the recording be made public to ensure accuracy and provide context. Seems very sensible to me. The Supreme Court and Second Circuit have long held that there is a presumption of immediate public access to judicial documents under both the common law and the First Amendment. Whether a document qualifies as judicial and is therefore subject to the presumption of public access is a binary decision made as of the time of the document's filing, i.e., filed material either is or is not a judicial document, depending on whether it could have a tendency to influence the court in the exercise of its Article 3 powers. God, this is actually... I am so curious who this accuser is, because the judge has given this considerable attention. This order is about many requests to seal or unseal, and this is a big chunk of it. This presumption, the judge continues, that we, the people, should have access to these documents is especially strong where the materials are filed in connection with dispositive motions such as motions to dismiss and motions for summary judgment. Courts have also applied the strong presumption in the context of motions for sanctions, given that these motions too determine litigants' substantive rights. Okay. You can see where he's going here. The judge then cites a lot of case law. Where the presumption is at its peak, Lyman continues, continued sealing of the documents may be justified only with specific on-the-record findings that sealing is necessary to preserve higher values and only if the sealing order is narrowly tailored to achieve that aim. Courts have found that one of these higher values is protecting significant and substantial privacy interests, such as the physical safety of litigants, witnesses, or third parties. Sensible. Other relevant considerations include the sensitivity of the information and the subject, whether the information is unverified, and whether the nature of the materials is such that there is a fair opportunity for the subject to respond to any accusations contained therein. A generalized concern of adverse publicity is not, however, sufficiently compelling reason to outweigh the presumption of access for us. Furthermore, although the privacy interests of innocent third parties should weigh heavily in a court's balancing equation, courts often consider whether a non-party has voluntarily chosen to participate in the case, as happened here with the declaration of this unknown accuser against Baldoni. Voluntarily. Lively's underlying motion seeks fees and costs and treble and punitive damages against the Wayfarer parties. This is the kind of motion to which a strong presumption of public access applies, and the privacy interest Lively has identified, namely that of the declarant's identity, is insufficient to overcome that presumption of access. Although the court is cognizant of the media-driven nature of this case, the declarant's identity is not the kind of information traditionally considered private rather than public. Parentheses, citing case law that says, medical and information about minors are among the types of information traditionally considered private. Not this accusation of verbal abuse against Baldoni. That the accuser is about to be public. The judge says the declarant's identity is also not unverified, and preventing the disclosure of Exhibit 1, the audio recording would limit a fair opportunity for the subject to respond to any accusations contained therein, as Lively has quoted only portions of the recording. The non-party, moreover, has voluntarily participated in this case by submitting a declaration detailing certain accusations against parties. The court therefore orders docket numbers 748, 7482, and 7483 unsealed. And there's an interesting footnote here. It says, although the Wayfarer parties assert that they have no opposition to sealing the declarant's name, docket number 786 at 2, the audio recording reveals the declarant's identity. So maintaining the individual's name under seal would be an empty formality. The rest is not that exciting. Oh, we got to seal this because it has information about the locations of upcoming depositions, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully, we'll find out the identity of the Baldoni accuser ASAP. As soon as we do, you know who will let you know the identity. Unmasking, not doxing. Some voluntary person got involved in this. Juicy! You know what else is also juicy and so chic? My merch. I have Team Truth. Grab your friends, wear your florals, Fram merch, Team Perez, and so much more. Check it all out at buypopstuff.com. That's buypopstuff.com. And making personalized videos brings such joy to me. It truly makes me happy to make cameos for you all. Book one right now on the Cameo website at cameo.com/P to the E to the R to the E to the Z to the H to the I to the L to the T to the O to the N. Also, stay informed and entertained and get an exclusive podcast a week on our Patreon. Sign up right now at patreon.com/P to the E to the R to the E to the Z to the H to the I to the L to the T to the O to the N. If you watched until the end, you are a superstar. The 1%, thank you. Watching until the end is the most meaningful way to support your favorite creators. If you want to support even more, hit that like button, share this video, and say surprise in the comments section. Because I'm surprised that the judge ruled the way that he did. Surprise in the comments section. Are you surprised? Who could it possibly be? There are some theories, but nothing confirmed, obviously, until the identity is revealed publicly, which should happen shortly. Thoughts on anything and everything It Ends With Us saga? Let's discuss it all in the comments. And remember, surprise. Mwah.